Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunamene Ahamene Power. அகத்தேர ரூபாய் அருணாச்சல அழகு சுந்தரம் போல் அகும் நீயுமுற்று அபிநமாயிருப்போம் அருணாச்சல. These are all the two verses from Arunachala Akshamanamale, the beginning verses. We have a refrain called Arunachala Shiva Arunachala, and afterward these are all the first two words. First one says that if I am just thinking that I am Arunachala itself, there is no difference between myself and Arunachala, then that person's ego goes away. How is that? In the next verse, he says that Alagu Sundaram Bol. Alagu means beautiful in Tamil. Sundaram means beautiful in Sanskrit. These are all the parents' name of Bhagavan, and he, with word and its meaning. Our Sanskrit famous verse of Kalidasa is Bhagattava Sampatto Agatta Pradibhakte Pitaro Jagatah Pitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwaro. Like the word and its meaning cannot be separated, like that the universal parents of Shiva and Shakti can never be separated. Here also, you become not separated from the Lord Himself. Like that, you become one with.
Thank you. And I think this is something very unique about Om Bhagavate Arunachala Ramanaya. Om Shri Bhagavate Arunachala Ramanaya. Shri Sadhu Om Swamigal. He said this mantra. It's longer than that, and it also explains the Advent day of Bhagavan also. If you see that when Bhagavan came, symbolically he came and he joined Arunachala and he never left. So we say Arunachala Ramanaya, but you can say Arunachala, you can say Ramanaya. It also means Arunachala Ramanaya only. And anyone who is having intense longing to know that Ramana, that Arunachala, that God, that awareness, that self within, he also becomes one. And one becomes then whatever your name given by your parents does not mean anything. You just know what you are now. Before that, all life we were leading in an illusion. People can live life in an illusion, life after life. But let's say you talk about one life in which you are living. Till we know what we are, whatever role we are playing, we think we are only that role. And this is the problem, because every role has good stuff and bad stuff, suffering and joy, and doership. Doership is the main problem. Where there is doership, there is always blame game. You will blame others, others will blame you, you will blame yourself, and then there is no peace. But if there is no doership, then you have already sorted out yourself. The other day, someone was telling me that what do? You sit and you do Bhagwan's things. Do action. Action is liberating. Karma yoga, work, see more patients. Don't just talk, don't just observe. No need to surrender. People have misinterpreted action or karma yoga because they don't understand. and they think action will liberate them if they are doing good actions. Good actions or bad actions, all actions done with doership are going to bound you. That's why I love Bhagavan. Bhagavan said very clearly, any action you do, all actions are binding. All actions. He did not even talk about Karma Yoga because he never wanted to be in that trap. Actually, people who read, Bhagavad Gita and other Karma Yoga, and a lot of people talk about karmas, and people who are very rasic mindset, they all talk about Karma Yoga without understanding the deep meaning of Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga starts only after surrender or after jnana. How can you, okay, karma, Bhagavan said very clearly that all karmas are binding. So karma itself is binding. Now what is karma yoga? Karma yoga means in which there is a karma, in which there is no doer. Now any action done without doership, without ego, how is it possible? It is only possible once you have surrendered your ego or you know who you are. So before the action comes knowing who you are. Then another definition of Karma Yoga is it is a desireless action. If you have an ego, how it can be desireless? So you have to get rid of your ego first to do Karma Yoga. The third is, they say the Karma Yoga is you only do non-selfish act. You do work for others, not for yourself. So till there is this ego sense, how the act will be unselfish. So if you see Karma Yoga, I am not a pandit and I am not a scholar, but with my all, whatever little I understood with Bhagavan's teachings and my own experience, leave aside Karma Yoga on a side and try to find who you are. The karmas will continue. You don't fight with what next action is happening with the body or the mind or your duties. That is continuing. Even if you don't like it, it will continue. You can't run away. But pay attention to the one in us who is not involved in anything. And keep your attention there all the time. Let the body do work or not do. Who cares? You just pay attention to that which is uninvolved. And that uninvolved witness is us. And all what we think we are is part of matter. So this is disentanglement, trying to sieve out what actually you are and what you are not. So let's say we are confused and we go to a person like Bhagavan and we ask, look, I'm so confused. I don't know whom I am. I have this body, I dress up, I eat, the body has pain, I feel the pain. And I have a mind, and the mind asks me to get a new car or look for friendship. And I really love to meet people and to have money. And I don't want anyone to criticize me. So I don't understand what you're talking about self, but I don't feel any self. So this type of talk is all coming from the ego only. And ego cannot sort it out itself. A seeker, a sadhak, a very mature seeker knows this truth, this self-talk. And for him, rather than trying to look into these thoughts and trying to find out why I am thinking this, he tries to see who is thinking this, who is desiring, who is looking for all these things, who is feeling hurt when someone is talking back to you. He actually is not He has no interest in the mind talk, thoughts, feelings, emotions, body, pain, pleasure, nothing. His interest is in that entity which is talking like this. And he keeps a sharp attention, sharp focus on that entity. And that entity within on which it keeps a sharp focus all the time, that entity start dissolving, because that entity has no existence. That entity has existence only till you do not scrutinize it, till you don't examine it, inquire it. The moment you start inquiring that thing, it just disappears because it's not there. It's like a ghost in you. You think it is true, but when you investigate, you come closer, you find there is no one there. So rather than going into intricate scriptures and how people talk about so many different disciplines to sort things out, Bhagavan has given such a beautiful direct path of liberation, which you can also call like non-dual inquiry, Advaitic sadhana. It is Advaitic sadhana, Advaitic non-dual sadhana. Sadhana means on this non-dual awareness, you keep focusing on non-dual awareness only. No matter action happening, not because if you get into the action and karma and I'll do good, then you are always in ego. This karma yoga only comes once you have surrendered completely or you know who you are. Then there is whatever happens is karma yoga. Karma yoga cannot start with ego. So what duties have to happen, they are happening. Don't worry. Just pay attention to the one who owns everything, including this body mind, who feels everything, who has intellect or sometimes lot of intellects. A person full of desire, his intellect is so diverse. He is after so many things, multi-dimensional personality, you can say. Watch that who is owning all these things and watching all the time with attention, not judging, not liking, not disliking this entity within, but just scrutinizing by your penetrating eyes within, and that is your attention. When you just keep doing this and observing it, gradually you first by practice you stay as a witness, but then only witness is left. Then that thing somehow it just disappears. Some people have such a sharp focused attention that it melts away very quickly. For some it can take a bit of time if they are not understanding how it is needs to be done, what you are trying to pay attention on. And this internal structure of body, mind, intellect, all this structure which is actually part of matter, it just recedes from you, it separates from, and you stay only as a witness only. Basically that energy which is giving life to the body mind is only energy. There is no doer in it. And when you stay in this energy, then there is no doer. No, you don't have to become from doer to non-doer. This energy, this aware is always non-doer. Even if it wants to do, somehow things happens and it just observes only. It cannot take any credit even for good things happening through it. Though it is true that energy, this awareness, which is uninvolved awareness, it never harms anyone. It is its nature, you can say, but it has no intention to harm or not harm. It is not that it is trying to do some good work or it has a lot of compassion. Compassion is its nature, but it has no intention. It has no desire even to do good things. That is what they say. If a virtuous action is done with doership, it is a bondage. So rather than trying to do good, just try to be awareness. Trying to be good with others, try to be awareness. Trying to be good or bad doesn't matter, just be awareness. When you are in awareness, you understand everything. Everything becomes so clear that you don't have to pick up a book or ask anyone or take help from anyone. Not a single doubt is left, even in dream. Never, ever. Because the one who doubts, the one for whom the thought serves, is no more there. Only awareness is there. And that awareness stays the same whether things happen or things don't happen. I hope you can hear me, because Vidya is saying that sometimes the voice is freezing. Anyway, I'll try. I can't try anything. Whatever is happening is
You
happening.
can try. You can shut down your video. That's what I did, because
Okay,
it was some noise or something, you are freezing. I shut down my video. So you can try to shut down your video.
sure.
Yeah.
The last few minutes were okay, Sanjayji.
Very good,
But
very good.
sometimes it does drop off. I think it might be the bandwidth.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, it is so simple, so humble. We come to sadhana, we sit together, we talk about it. This actually removes the doubts in the mind and explains you how to fine tune with that awareness. But the thing is that the process between two satsangs which we do together, it is your own sadhana which is happening in between, which makes the journey easier for you and faster for you to detach, to be free from what we always have thought what we are, this body mind complex. And more you recede into this by practice, initially by practice, more you feel so settled in your own self. And the practice will drop the moment it becomes so natural that there's nothing else to jump into. Because the other entity, what we think, what we are, that ego, the one who is the doer, who is the owner, it actually start dissolving when you don't act from that, uh, because it is the same energy which by somehow confusion started acting as a body mind complex. But as it watches, as you watch, as it recedes, then it is the same mind which, when reflecting on awareness, it cannot disturb you. The mind which is disturbing us is because of still there is some momentum from the previous interest in it. Otherwise, it has to settle, it will completely settle into it, into this pure seeing. Because some people actually explain the other way also, that it is the same mind which, when becomes antarmukhi, looking within, becomes the self. Or what I would say is that it is only the reflection of this pure energy in form of mind with a doership. When the doership is gone, then it is just what it is. So our job is nothing but to pay attention to this I amness. And this I amness will dissolve just by pure seeing, by the attention. Because the one who is witnessing is never involved. But because we never have done something like this before, we are always in the mind, and what mind brings to us, any thought, it gets into an action and we follow it, good or bad. But here, technique is without any help. If you see, this non-duality technique of Advaitic sadhana is the sadhana practice of taking no help from the mind or your intellect or your body. If you see yoga, in yoga it is all help from the body. Like I'm talking about Ashtanga yoga. You're taking all help from the body. There are so many things in which you take help from the body or mind. Here you just detach. So it is very, very fast, because self is always realized. You are self. Who is not realized self is just a misnomer. That has to go. That is just fake, who always have a doubt that how would I realize self, and I have to do a practice, and I'm still, I don't know who am I. That thing has to go. That is not you. And what you are always realized. So this method in which you are not using any thing of the Maya or the word mind body, it is so direct and easy and simple. Here there are no mediators. No one can fool you around here. You just have to stay in what you are. That's all. And keep paying attention to this I amness till it completely dissolves. And then there are so many things within you which changes, which you understand, and it makes you more confident or more understanding. It just comes from within, that yes, things which you had interest or you were looking into it, most of those things just drop, and you are left with so much of time, so much of energy, so much of peace, because most of the time is wasted in gossiping. Even if you are not gossiping with someone else, just gossip going in the mind about others. When that ego goes away, nothing is left. Your own story gets dissolved, disappears. And all these people around you or things around you which creates these impulses in mind, they just finish. You finish your story and everything finishes. Everything is from you only. You are the source of everything. You are the creator of this universe, what you see. The moment you dissolve, everything dissolves. And when everything dissolves, then nothing is left. Then even you can't say that you have realized. Who has realized? You are always this, actually. It was just a mistaken identity that you started thinking that you are a doer, you have been given a body mind, you have to do an action, you have a family, you have to pay mortgage. Those things will continue, but there is no doership in anything. With a very simple technique of, not even a technique, but just paying attention to reality, that's all. Paying attention to this pure reality. You pay attention, and what is not you start dissolving. Start dissolving. If it is reality, it will never dissolve. And so when it start dissolving, what is left is what you are. This is the power of self-attention. We can talk about if someone has any.
There is a famous Sanskrit shlokam for this. Mayyeva sakalam jatam mayi sarvam pratishtitam mayyeva layam yanti tad brahmaham avyayam. Mayyeva sakalam, from me everything begins. Mayyeva sakalam jatam mayi sarvam pratishtitam, in me everything is established, and in me everything goes back. So to that Brahman, I bow down and stay as that.
As we are unreal in ego mode, our worries, our problems, our bodily afflictions, issues with mind, they are all fake. Because one fake thing leads to another fake thing. And then the whole world which we think, the way we think from the mind is completely fake. The moment you establish in your own awareness, the moment you start looking here, what is there to look? It is so empty, but so full of love. Anyone has anything to say? I think Amit wants to say something.
Yeah, I was maybe sharing something which was last weekend, and I was listening into a non-dual teacher. They're more it's a style that Bhagavan didn't wasn't necessarily fond of. I'll give you an example. So I asked the question to the teacher, is he able to help people? Because people are attending and they're listening, and the style of the teacher is very radical. That there is nothing, and all there is now, and there's nothing else. And the feedback was, well, there are no people. And that might essentially be maybe a sort of Turiya's type of statement, but the compassion was lacking, I think, in that statement. So I think it's a case of, I think Bhagavan I think somebody had asked a question to Bhagavan about this approach, I think Neo-Advaita approach, and I think he had said that it doesn't really help people. So while the teacher might,
Look, I understand what you're saying, because it is just like an intellectual. You read in a book, oh, there's no word. That doesn't help, Word is still, I can see everyone on this screen, It doesn't help. Look, yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
The only thing which helps is your own sadhana going within you. If I say to you something, it's just a matter of intellectual understanding has no place in it, because again there are this thing of working without any help. That is what Bhagavan's technique is, working without help. Without help means without taking help of the mind body complex, just paying attention to awareness and just staying in that awareness. And staying in awareness is whatever is happening with your own ego identity, just observing it. Just observing it will dissolve it. It is as simple as that. And we don't have to go that further up to that there are no people or no, it is no need to make any comments on anything. I think it's better just to take baby steps. Just you understand your body, you feel your body, you are attached to body, that's all okay. We will start here only. We can't be radical at this moment. Wherever one person is, you start there only. You start your journey there only. But the thing is that observe the one who owns the body, the ego. Just pay attention. And I'm 100% sure all of these people who are in this group, they have been sadhak and seekers and true seekers. So they all understand what the ego is, how we feel, how we, when there's a self-interest in things, how we project, how we manipulate. So this entity in us, we can observe it. More you observe it, more it starts disappearing. And if you're observing throughout the day, it will not last too long. But don't fuel to it, don't give power to it by creating more desires. They say rag and dvesh, so attachments and repulsions to things. Don't fuel it, just observe it. Whatever with the previous momentum this ego is moving, you just watch it. Your watchful observation is enough. It has enough power. Because you know what is the power? This power of energy is so simple. It is so powerful. It is running the whole world but doesn't say any word. Today, someone can say, I don't believe in God, and they can say anything about God. You think God will come out and he will bang his head? You know, it is so simple. If God starts doing that, that means God has an ego, isn't it? So this is so pure and simple. It is what we all are. Because it is so simple and so easy, we keep missing it all the time. Because the one who misses it is the ego mind only. Because it only knows that after doing some action, you gain something in this world. So it thinks that to know yourself also you have to do an action. But it has nothing to do with action. It is only with your longing. When your longing is there to know yourself, your pure self, somehow for each individual a separate technique develops within their own interior milieu. It just, something happens. It can be very unique to everyone, very, very unique. Like, you know, if everyone's enlightenment, if you bring together, there can be like 10,000 techniques if there are 10,000 people who have realized themselves. Somehow it knows what is best for a person of that type of ego mind complex who really wants to be free. Because the way you went into this trap, to come out from this trap is your own way. And that all knowledge comes when you just pay attention to this whole thing going on within. So if your attention is within, not outside, you're not seeking anything, you're not putting your money on things, liking or disliking or whatever the drama of the world, your attention is here all the time. You wake up in morning and your attention is here. Things are unfolding, you are seeing people, you're doing your business, whatever, people, but your attention is here. You lose this attention, goes out into ego mode. As soon as you realize, it comes back. And this game continues, slipping into it, coming out of it, frustration maybe, but don't frustrate, just watch it, watch it. This pure seeing, pure watching, somehow it does the job. You don't have to do anything else. When you stay as uninvolved awareness, you pay attention only to uninvolved awareness, you don't pay attention to mind, you don't give more work to the mind dissolves, it loses its entity, and the only thing left is awareness. And then in this awareness, whether anything likes you, like anything like you means liking this body mind, because whole world is interacting not with the awareness, they are interacting with this body mind through which you are communicating. So people might say something bad or good about this body, who cares? You are not this body mind, so it can never affect you then, because you are so detached to this body mind, and you don't own this body mind. And now you realize that this body mind is part of this world. The world is treating the way it needs to be treated. The way this body mind has done stupid stuff in the past, so it deserves bashing. Or if it is getting praise, also it deserves. And you are awareness, you are not even this. So how would you be affected in any way? Even if you say you want to protect this body from insult, but who is insulting whom? This body mind belongs to the word is insulting, they will sort out themselves. Who are you? You are this pure awareness which is just watching this game unfolding, as you are watching when you are dreaming, as you are watching when you are in deep sleep. This is the same, you are the same, only the scene keeps changing in front of you. Until you have interest in this body mind, you will be the sufferer. But moment you start witnessing what is happening at your mind level as I thought, which is ego, which is the one who is taking ownership, everything starts receding. You go back to the source from where you have come. You can call this source anything. You can call self, it is self. It is the universal self, not individual self. Or you can call it God, if you're God loving. Or you can call it awareness or Brahman. Doesn't matter. You can call it by any name or no name, doesn't matter. But that's what you are. Everyone is that only. You just have to sit with it, watch it, observe it, in whatever way it happens to you. No one can tell you what is right way or wrong way, but I can tell you this is the direct and simple path in which there can be some sub paths which might be good for you, which can come with your own way to you, your own seeing. Even this self-realization, what people call as understanding this pure self, comes in so many different ways. If you are interested in people, how they got to it, everyone got it in a very different way. So you can't say that there is one way to even realize self, as there are paths to reach it, and the last moments or how it unfolds is also different in different people. I can only point if someone asks what it is, but I think we all understand what it is, isn't it? Awareness, we understand what awareness is. Awareness is humble self, which is not complaining, which never complains. Anything which in us complains is not us. Just remember that. And then try to find the one which never complains within us. The one which does not jump out for any conclusion, which does not pick up a stuff and start analyzing it or criticizing things. That's all mind. We are all very simple. We are all coming here, living in these body-mind complex and just living, not doing anything, not complaining, enjoying our own bliss, our peace. And one day this body mind will dissolve and we will be just in our bliss and peace. That's all. The good news or bad news is that this body is not going to last forever. Whether you are proud of this body or the body is causing suffering, the body is disappearing soon. It's not going to last too long. This drama is not going to last too long. Maybe 100 years. So why to complain and what to be proud of? Whatever it is, just enjoy in your own silence. Sitting in this body mind, just enjoy. But not enjoy outside desiring for enjoyment. Enjoy your own bliss. That is what it is all about. Enjoy your own bliss. Not look for enjoyment. Yes, if a thing comes in that way in your destiny, that's okay, that's good. And you will notice that when you stop desiring for anything, everything comes to you more. It is just desire which is creating only restlessness in the mind. That's all. Whatever has to come to you, it will come to you. See, Bhagavan left everything, went to a cave, and the whole world came to him. And he had no interest. He had no interest in any devotee. He never made any disciples. Yeah, devotees, people, anyone can become devotee of anyone, because devotee is a very different thing. Devotee is a one-sided game. Guru doesn't choose anything. Devotee says, I will be you are my guru. I don't want to leave. What guru can do? He never wanted to be guru. He never was guru. He never made any disciples. This is the way. This is the way of this pure awareness. He never opened a shop. Very simple thing. Someone is selling something. Whether he's selling spirituality, it is a shop. Don't go to a shop if you want to be free. It's better to do your own sadhana and don't go to any shop. No propaganda. There's no propaganda needed for this. But one thing I would tell you is, anyone in this world who has known self wants to share that, because it is so beautiful. It is like you have ice cream or some sweet dish. You want to share with others. It is because it's so much that it will, on sharing, you will feel good. But nothing more than that. It has nothing to do with money. Money is nothing. So anyone who is after money, guru or a devotee or anyone, they are all fake. I don't want to name some sages in India. They say people who sell spirituality are worse than prostitutes. They are not sages or saints. They are worse than prostitutes who are selling spirituality. See, people like Bhagavan, with whom we adore and who has given this knowledge, they used to beg for their one meal a day. This is the way they lived life, a fakir's life, a beggar's life, but they were king inside. So many times, even in Bhagwan time, it happened there was hardly any food in the kitchen, but somehow it came. Someone dropped something, or they lived on very meager resources. They never had money, but they never refused food to anyone who came on that door. Very simple life. And same is, if we take path of Bhagwan, we have to follow Bhagwan. Then you can't deceive, you can't escape. Once you have gone towards Bhagwan, your end is 100% sure, end of your ego. You can't escape. He is, somehow I always love this Arunachala Ramana. That's what I was telling the other day, Ruchi, that I don't know where Om Namo Bhagavate Arunachala Ramanaya. Arunachala, Ramana, everything is same. It is actually, this mantra is Sadhu Om said that, but when you see Arunachala has attracted, some people used to come to Bhagwan, they used to say, we believe in you, but we don't believe in Arunachala. He said, even if you don't believe, you have to believe, because I believe in that only. That's why I'm here. If you don't believe, you don't believe, but you have to believe. This is the power of Arunachala. Arunachala has assured that anyone who believes in it will be free from the ego. That is its power. Like every part in word, there are centers of different things, centers of knowledge or whatever. This is the center of pure jnana. It is a fire. If you believe in it, you believe in Bhagwan's teaching, that's enough. That will make you do what you are doing, your sadhana. You just believe, you have faith, because everything starts from somewhere. When you believe that this ego needs to go and this is the cause of suffering, then you work on it and it disappears. Same way, this teaching, such a simple, pure teaching of Bhagwan, just inquiring into this I thought, and more you observe, it just disappears. But even this technique or inquiry or self-attention, this is all because of the grace only. Grace is working. Grace is asking you to do this way so you will be free, and you are already free. I'll tell you such a beautiful thing in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna said to Arjuna that I have already sorted out the war. You are a winner. But I just want you to play this, do this role playing of being the soldier, warrior in this war, and do your duty, and you have already won. I know this. I have written the script, so you just do it. Same is here. If you believe in Bhagwan, you believe in Arunachala, you're following the self-attention, you are just doing a game which he is asking you to do, and you are already free. It is just a matter of playing this game. You're already free. This is the power of grace. Believe in power of grace. Never believe in your own power. We all have no power. The power in which we believe our own power, that has to go. That has to disappear. And then what is left is only Bhagwan. You and Bhagwan are not different. We without ego is Bhagwan only, Arunachala only. No difference. During Bhagwan's time, people used to come, they used to say, Bhagwan, there are different grades of enlightenment. And People like Nilakantanji knows more detail these things, Brahmavid or Brahmavashist or Brahmavarishta, something like Brahmavid. So different types. Bhagavan said, doesn't matter. Once you know yourself, you are just fine. After that, nothing matters. There, what gradation? You should know what you are, that's all. Some said there's less body awareness, some said you have more body awareness. He said, doesn't matter. Whether you have body awareness or you have less body awareness, doesn't matter. You should know what you are. You are pure awareness. Stay like that, uninvolved, witness to everything. All actions should be disinterested. No doership in the system. This is the perfect retirement scheme, I'll tell you. If you want to retire, whether you have a job or not doesn't matter, but you should give up doership. Eternal retirement. And look how much sukha, how much happiness you get. Because there is so much of peace when there is no doership. No doership. A person with doership is always in ifs and buts in their actions, in their mind. Should I go this path? Should I do this? Should I do that? A person in self, looks like he's always right because he's not taking any decision. So whatever comes, he accepts. So it's always the right decision because there's no decision happening there. He has given up everything to the Absolute to sort out and has disappeared from the scene forever. That is pure surrender. When you have given up everything to that Absolute to do, then you are in perfect harmony, whatever the way it will take you. Like a dry leaf in the wind, it just keeps going, no resistance, harmonious flow. And when there is no resistance, no friction, there is bliss, there is happiness. When we give up what we think, what we are, then what is left is only happiness. And for this, we don't have to do anything. Just don't get involved in doership. Watch this gossip mind. Whatever it's gossiping about, don't be part of it. Just and don't be against also. Because it's a habit, old habit. But don't give your energy to it. Your energy, you are that awareness. You are pure awareness. You stay as awareness. Enough of role playing for so long. Now, time is to just relax. All our anxiety, stress, everything, suffering, what we call a suffering of the body or mind or whatever, it's only comes with this mode of person who owns this body mind. Just watch it. Your watching will dissolve it. When you keep watching it, you're not giving any energy to the mind. And when the mind has not getting energy, mind starts dissolving. Because mind was serving this person. And when there's no person, then mind has no boss to be served. And so the mind becomes a vestigial organ. No more commentary of the mind. in our life, we can go in both directions. We can go for things in our life, desires, unending desires, which one gets fulfilled, the next one props up, never ending. You can never be satisfied. That is a worldly person, sansari. Then there can be a spiritual person who wants to know the God within their heart. He moves within and he finds God and he is happy forever. No desires left. This one desire of knowing God can be fulfilled. It's achievable. But if you are a worldly person and you move out and you want to get the desires of the mind, you can take millions of births, it will never end. So, which is a easier path? A spiritual path or a worldly path? And a spiritual path, when you find your beloved, there is love, there is peace, there is happiness. But when you get the desired object or thing or being, you feel happy, contented, but then again restless. And then again journey starts, a never-ending journey. And then that pleasure also brings pain. Sorry? Hello? So it is very easy, It all depends on what is your interest, how much time you have to know yourself. And if I would say, if you're giving majority of your time to it, it will be much quicker and easier. It all depends how much your interest in it. If this is all your interest, then it is going to happen soon, very soon. It is happening each moment, it's happening. Keep abiding in your pure self and stay happy in your own self. And everything is in abundance when you stay in self. Because when you connect here, when you stay here, then you stay everywhere. Everything is you. This is our real connection with everything. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Sanjay.
Sanjay. Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.